Alright, I need to get out of here. Ew, this peach pear thing tastes nasty. I want to come on here really quickly because this is the Dare Show podcast. I wanted to come on here and just talk about. This was not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be. Anyways, I want to talk about Real Housewives of Uhlanna. However they say it. This is the worst season ever. I've watched all of. I've watched every season of Atlanta. I think the only episode I missed that I did not watch was a couple of episodes last season. I know I didn't watch Cynthia get married again. But I know a couple of episodes I didn't watch last season. Last season was boring. This is the worst. This is the worst season ever. That last episode that came on Sunday when they're in Blue Ridge, talking, and it was like a bunch of nothing. It was a bunch of absolute nothing. I started tuning out. I'm just disappointed. I'm not thoroughly. Quote unquote, the COVID seasons that these women have had. Potomac had a great COVID season. And even besides the Erica Jane stuff, Beverly Hills had a great COVID season. I love last season of Beverly Hills. I love last season of Potomac. Atlanta. Do you see this peach? This peach is just as rotten as that episode. Just as rotten as that episode. This white peach is just as rotten as that episode. I mean, why is Sheree there? Candy, Kenya, trying to have Sheree revamp or actually do She by Sheree. Nobody gives a fuck about She by Sheree. I can't fucking less about Sheree, let alone She by Sheree. And the fact that she kind of did this, Sheree is not a designer. There's nothing fashionable about Sheree. There's nothing exciting about Sheree. I feel like you've got some kind of flair about you to be a fashion designer. Sheree's not a fashion designer. Sheree could do joggers or whatever that shit, or the athletic wear. She should be in charge. She should have been. She should be in charge of, what is it? Beyonce's thing, Bluetopia, Ivytopia, Ivy Park. She should be in charge. She should have had one of those, but a fashion line, Sheree Winfield, nah. And the fact that she made a house, she built this house, but she can't get a fashion fucking line off the ground. It's ridiculous. Nobody cares about She by Sheree. Fatum, I think her name is. Fatum, Sheree's friend. That whole thing with Drew, it was just this is the worst television ever. The worst episode ever. It wasn't even a filler. It was just going back and forth about nothing. Okay, wait, let me stay on track. For Fallon barking back, okay, Fallon kind of did look like a dog. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not funny, it's not right. But Fallon was giving dog energy. She wasn't really saying anything. I don't know why they were holding them back. What were they gonna do? Why were they holding Drew back? Drew is boring. I can't with this show anymore. Well, not anymore. I'm just like, y'all gotta do better than this. The whole season hasn't been interesting. The only part that I thought was gonna pop off was that Sonya's Jamaican feast dinner thing. When they all showed up, and who came in last? Somebody came in, I think, not Kenya. Drew came in. I thought it was gonna pop off, but nothing really. It didn't really escalate the way I thought it was gonna escalate, and then it just died down. Oh Lord, what's next? The end all be all. This whole Kenya and Marlo. I love Marlo. Marlo is not looking good on this show right now. From the kids to like the Kenya thing. Marlo is just like, Marlo, you gotta go somewhere. Cause, I mean, Marlo, you gotta redemption. She needs to get some redemption going on because Marlo does not look good. I love Marlo, but she's just becoming like bossy. And it was just like, ugh. And Kenya is just like ignoring her. And I'm like, just like, I understand, you know, you gotta come and get your money, come for it. You got a job to do, but like, Kenya, you should have just stayed home. Like, there was no point in you coming up to argue with Marlo in a driveway for 2 hours. I couldn't do it. I don't think I would be able to do that. It's not hitting the way this show should be hitting. This was a horrible episode. Bored-tastic. Did you guys enjoy this episode? Let me know if I was the only one who was like, oh my God, this was like so dramatic. This was horrible. And unfortunately, Marlo is just like looking bad, bullying. So I'm not saying I want to say she's bullying Kenya. Kenya acted like, oh, I don't want to be provoked. Ken, you've been provoking people for the last 10 years. Sure, what's her name? You've been provoking Portia all day long. You've been provoking, like, I do kind of feel bad for Kenya, but the way Kenya's like handling it, I want her to like, just, I don't know what I want her to do. I just don't. I'm over this beef that they have. What's next in the season? Because, wait, okay, how did Sheree get this fashion line going off without anybody knowing? Like, I didn't read about it. I didn't see anybody talking about it, except for, like, these previews. Just like, oh, okay. So I'm guessing Sheree really doesn't have a fashion line popping off. It's just not. It's just a thing for the show. Why is Sheree back? If anybody can answer me that question with a valid reason, I will give you $1 million. No, I'll give you $2 million. Why the fuck is Sheree here? Because I can understand if Sheree came back and Tyrone was in the picture. I did not know Tyrone was going to end like this. I thought Tyrone was going to like, they were going to fall in love. I mean, they were going to like be together, yada, yada, yada. Like, that's the only reason I would have came back. Oh, I'm in love. And we're building something or something like that. But this whole like Tyrone is out of the picture now. What's her story? She buys Sheree that doesn't exist. A bunch of sticks. A bunch of fabrics. She buys Sheree and her fabrics that aren't clothes yet. Drew, what's going on with Drew? Like, nobody's interesting. Nobody is interesting me. I'm bored. That's all I have to say. How do I get out of here?